Welcome back, everybody. Hope everybody had a great week. Everybody's doing awesome. So, here today, we're going to talk a little bit about branding and you are your brand. I'm actually going to talk quite a bit about you, especially as a young entrepreneur, new entrepreneur, whatever you want to call it. When you first get started, you might not think about all the little things that people look at when you're talking to them, or talking to people about your business, or trying to sell your business, sell your product. And you are, like I say, it's going to start with you. And I'm going to have a few books I'm going to promote today. You can get them wherever you buy books at, or ebooks, or however you want to do it. That's up to you. But they're books that probably could help you a lot when you're first getting started, which I did not have years ago when I started some of my first businesses, which I wish I would have. Anyways, what we're going to talk about starting is you're going to go out and you're going to go out and start your business. You got this idea. You're going to do this and this and this. And if you don't know what to do, I always encourage people, find some mentors, not just one. Find different mentors for different things, and I'll talk a little bit about that also. So what we're going to talk about is you get started. Uh, when I had my promotional business, which was a Wild West business years ago, I had a big handlebar mustache. It was 13 and a half inches long, wore a cowboy hat all the time, Western shirt, blue jeans, rodeo buckle, because I used to rodeo. And it was just a natural fit. When I'd walk into places, I was my brand. My mustache was a logo on my business card and any of my business information. That was my logo. And it was very simple for that one. And maybe you're starting out into something like, I'm not even going to name a product right now. Just you're going to start out, and maybe you need a haircut. Maybe you need your teeth fixed. I had to get my teeth fixed. I'm still working on that. In a few months, you'll see a different me. And the thing that you work on is continually working. Maybe you have tattoos. I'm not knocking tattoos. I have tattoos. Um, but when people first meet you, how do they perceive you? Maybe you got piercings, or things that, like earrings. For ladies, that's great. For guys, it's a little better now than when I first started business years ago. But still, if you're going into a professional world, dress professionally. But you got to dress for your fit, what you're promoting. Let's say you're in the uh, surfboard business. You're not going to wear a suit and tie if you're in the surfboard business. You're going to wear, swimsuit, cool t-shirts, uh, flip flops, things like that. And that's why I say dress according to what you're selling. Don't dress out of whack. If let's say you were a iron selling metalworks, and you're selling metalworks, and you walk in with a tuxedo on, they're going to look at you like crazy. But if you're wearing a pair of nice blue jeans, nice shirt, they're going to look at, okay, I understand relatability. It's all about what people perceive you as when you're getting started in your own. Even as your business goes along, you always want to dress for success. But when I say that, years ago they talked about dress for success. It was always a black suit, red tie, white shirt. Well, that doesn't fit in every business. In today's market, it's totally different. It's definitely more casual. Maybe a sports coat, maybe no sports coat at all, slacks, polo shirts, and that's success. Dress for success today. One successful person taught me how to dress, because I had no idea about suits and ties. Never owned one. So when I got into a business where I needed a suit and tie, I said, well, you always dress really sharp. How do you do that? He said, just go into a men's clothing store, look at the mannequins, and just buy what's on the mannequin. I go, that's a great idea. Real simple, because that's what's trending. And I just try to help people to save a lot of money, so you're not spending money or wasting money on buying stuff that doesn't fit you and your brand and your business. So what we're going to do is talk a little bit more about you and how you think about uh, being successful. How do you think about perceive yourself? I don't have a college degree. I'm not very well educated, which I understand. I can relate that totally. Maybe you're worried about all that stuff. Don't worry about that, but you do need to educate yourself. But I would not worry about, unless you're, like I say, going to get into an engineering business or something, then you definitely need a degree. But I'm going to talk about different um, things. This is a book that's really good when you first get started. Is Personal Achievement by Napoleon Hill. He's written a number of books which I've read on great things about branding yourself and helping yourself succeed. The other one I'm really big on is You Yourself, what you need to work on. There's a lot of books on that, but here's one to think about here. It's Success is the Inside Job, and that is so true. The longer you're in business, the more you're going to understand it's all in here. It's all in that 6 inches between the ears. Uh, how you feel about your business, how you feel about yourself, how you feel about people. Do you believe you can become successful? There's a lot of little things that you're going to have a lot of mental games on the days that um, you're having not a good day in business, or maybe you're worried about failing, and failing is just a process. I tell people I've failed in a lot of things in my life, but hopefully you learn from it and get better. Um, the other one is when you're meeting people. Here's another real something. You notice I'm showing you small books because I like small, easy books to read. So it's called The Power of Influence, and that is by Sam Silverstein. He's written a number of books on success. Uh, so you want to, if you don't know how, I didn't talk to people even when I started my promotional business, doing the Wild West stuff. I worked with horses. I worked doing all kinds of things physically, but never really had to talk to people. So I had to read a lot of books on people skills and how to deal with people, because I was very, very nervous. And I've done public speaking, and I think the biggest crowd I've done is about 8,000 people. And if you'd have told me that when I was younger, I'd have said, "You're out of your mind. You're crazy." Because in high school, when they'd have a book report, I would skip school that day. I'd tell my mom and dad, I said, "Hey, there's some fencing that's got to be fixed. There's animals got to be taken care of. The field's got to be done, whatever, to get out of school for that day." Because I was not going to stand in front of 15, 18 people and do a book report. I would just I would sweat. I would close my mouth. I'd stutter, stammer, do things like that. But I was not going to speak in front of people. Well, I overcame that because I wanted to become successful. Was it easy? Not really. It took me quite a while before I'd ever get up in front of people. I started out pretty much just one-on-one meetings, or maybe a couple people, and then it maybe five or six, and eventually got bigger and bigger. The more knowledge I had about what I was speaking about, the more confident I got. And when you have your own business, you definitely need to know your product or your business to be confident in, and then you deal with people. And this is one book, I just love the name of this book too. As for an entrepreneur, it's a good book. It's called The CEO of You. So you are your own CEO. When you start having the doubts and the worries and all that, either get a good book, call a mentor, call somebody that's going to help you succeed. When I talk about that, we were talking about dress earlier, is if you don't know how to dress, ask somebody. And here's what I'm talking about. When you ask people, make sure the people that you talk to are on your side, and they want to see you succeed. You could have friends, family members, great people, nice people, but do they really want to see you succeed? You want to get around people that will help you succeed. Not, everybody thinks about financially, but you need other help in other areas, and that's something to think about. Who's going to help you succeed, where it's not going to cost you a lot of money in the beginning? So now we're going to talk a little bit about mentors. I personally think you should have a few different mentors, maybe spiritual mentor, which the gentleman that helped me, I had a lot of questions about things. It didn't come from what I thought it would be. He was actually a Catholic priest, and I thought, oh boy, this is religion. But actually, he used to be an iron worker before he became a priest, and I was an iron worker, so we had something relative. And I would ask him questions, and I liked the way how he answered it. He would never give me the answer. He'd tell me where to look for it, and that taught me to think for myself and research for myself, and it was very interesting. And then through that spiritual end of it, another very, very successful gentleman, he come into a meeting one time just talking to men. It was a men's meeting, and it was very to the point. And he said something profound. And he said, I don't care what your religious, your faith background is. I mean, he said, if you want to be a successful businessman, he says, you need to read the book of Proverbs every day. And it says, it's in the middle of the Bible. And I thought, oh no, you're not going to get me to read that stuff, you know. And he said, you try it for 30 days and you tell me how much religion is in that book of Proverbs. It's actually called the book of wisdom. And what's amazing was I always remember there was a proverb in there. I'll shorten it up. And it really got me to thinking. It said, a lazy man will live and die in poverty. And that was written over 3,000 years ago. And I said, that's pretty amazing, because here it is 2021 and lazy people still live and die in poverty. It has nothing to do with what religion they are, what race, what ethnic background, anything. It's just it's just a book on wisdom and guidance. And I started doing that about 25 years ago or so. I started reading that. And every day, there's 31 Proverbs. Every day I read one. And they're real simple one-liners, which I like simple. These are just suggestions. These are what I've learned from successful people who are millionaires. I'm not talking about somebody that's doing okay. I'm talking about millionaires and multimillionaires who I've learned from. So think about that. Think about what you want to do with your life. Think about who can help you, who can you reach out to, who can help mentor you, so your learning curve is shortened. You want to shorten that learning curve up. You want to shorten it up to as fast as possible to save you time and money. And some of you are going to be like, well, I don't like to read. I didn't like to read either. In fact, I told the mentor, multi-millionaire, I said, I don't like to read. He said, I didn't ask you to like to read. I said, you want to be successful? He says, do you like going to work every day? I said, no. He said, well, why do you go then? I said, good question. I go for the money. He said, well, you want to be successful, you need to read. And you'll hear all these little fancy quotes, leaders are readers and things like that. But it took me a while. He said, just read 15 minutes a day of a positive book. And I thought, well, I could do that, 15 minutes a day. He didn't tell me how many pages or how many books I had to read, just 15 minutes a day. And when I first started, because I didn't read, I could read, but I didn't read till I was 32 years old or so. I started reading. And I would literally read in a book like this, small book like this, I would read a page, one page. Let me just pick one out here real fast where I can, without all the pictures in it. All right, I can get one here. Come on, we can do it. Like this. I would read this, probably won't show up here. This page and this page in 15 minutes. People laugh, oh, you're joking. No, I'm not joking. I didn't comprehend much because I wasn't reading, and now I read, well, a lot faster now, but now I can comprehend what I'm reading. So like I say, he never asked me questions about what I read or anything, you know. As long as it's a positive book, he suggested a few of them, like How to Win Friends and Influence People, The Magic of Thinking Big. Just some great books, just great books to help you succeed, because you're going to deal with people. You go out and you find yourself mentors. Maybe it's a financial mentor. If you're going to do some investing or you need finances, I strongly suggest people, if you're going to get into like financing or investing money, you find somebody that's super successful in investing. I have a gentleman that I've been known for a number of years, very successful. And I just text him, what do you think about this? And he gives me his honest opinion, doesn't tell me to invest, not invest. He just gives me his information. And he does business around the world. And I know I like it because it's just simple answers. For me, I like simple. So something to think about there. Accounting, you know, if you're not a good accountant, which I'm not, find an accountant or a mentor that can refer you to some good accountants. Because two things that you heard me in the first videos are, you need a good accountant and a good lawyer, especially if you're going to sell products that can, you know, in case anything goes wrong. And you got to know the laws, and you don't have time to go to school, learn all the laws for every state, every county. So that's why you need those two things. So you can just call them and say, hey, can I do this? It's a yes, no question. It's simple. And you don't want to build a successful business and find out, oh, I've been doing something illegal, not intentionally, but you've done something wrong. And I just try to save people all these headaches that I went through up until I was 32 years old. Uh, all the struggles I went through I had a big ego. I tell people I wasn't conceited. I was just convinced. And just joking. Anyways, and because of that, it cost me a lot of time, a lot of money. When you find people that can help you, that really want to see you succeed, and like accountant and a lawyer, you're gonna have to pay them, of course. But the people that can help you, and start asking friends, who do you know that's successful in business? As it just saves you so much time. Well, I don't want to bother people. I don't want to, and you'll find out successful people most of the time love to help young entrepreneurs. Not all the time, but most of the time they do. They'll spend some time with you, give you some great ideas. Uh, Another suggestion, I did this. I read this in a book, and it really helped. Is I was looking into some real estate stuff, so I called up a very successful realtor that my friend knew. I didn't know him. He knew me. He was very successful in real estate. And Linda and I were thinking about getting into real estate. And I actually took him out to lunch and paid for his lunch because it was worth my time. Of course, I took my notebook, had questions already prepared to ask him. So I didn't waste his time at lunch. Ended up being very, very knowledgeable, helped me a lot. Of course, we didn't invest a lot in real estate because that's not our personality. We found out it wouldn't be good for us. So just things to find out what like I said, what your personality is, what you enjoy, what is it for you that can help you succeed. You want to focus on where you're going. You want to focus on a 2 to 5 year plan. You want to focus on winning. Look at the positives. You're always going to have some negatives in life, and not every day, but some days are going to be bad. But remember to focus on why you're building your business. Is it to control your time? Is it to make more money? Is maybe you just want to win for you one time in your life? Just one time you want to win and succeed, maybe to prove to somebody, maybe to prove to yourself, maybe to prove to your family. Maybe you want to break the trend of your family that's been generations of being poor, unsuccessful. Maybe that's the reason why you're building it. It does not always, everybody thinks, oh, you want to be a multimillionaire. No, that's not always the reason. It might be something very, very personal just to show yourself that you did it. Maybe somebody said you couldn't do it. Maybe a little hard-headed like me. When somebody said, especially when I was younger, you said I couldn't do it, I'd say, watch this. I did it in the military. I did it in a couple of businesses where people kind of laughed about, you're not going to do that. And it made me mad enough. I went out and built it to, a successful business, not just an average. It was successful. So just something to think about. Why do you want to win? Remember, this whole entrepreneurship starts out with you. It starts out with you in mind. And what are you going to do to win? Why are you going to win? Who are you going to help along the way? And some people go, I don't want to help anybody. Well, you'll learn. I didn't think that was going to happen either, but I've learned over time, yes, you do want to help other people win because it's a win-win for everybody. You want to maybe join a group of business owners. Some people go to the Chamber of Commerce, and that's a great group of people. Some people, sometimes in some of your major cities, they have private groups of entrepreneurs and private groups of businessmen. They just get together and just socialize. They talk about everything from family to, because I've gone to a number of them. They're very enjoyable. You get to meet and greet and get a lot of contacts, expand your network. So those are just something to think about today. And we're working on getting some more interviews together. We've got some people in mind, excited about some totally different backgrounds, totally different businesses. So excited about doing the interviews because I love talking to different entrepreneurs. So you have a great week. Think about some books. Like I say, anytime you want to put comments in there, ask them maybe for specific books or message me on Facebook. that would be great. And I'll get back to you and suggest some things for you. And that's all I can do for you is suggest, and hope you believe in yourself. I hope you succeed. And one thing I always encourage to go out and make yourself a great life. You know, you only have one life. You don't have two. You don't. This is not a dress rehearsal. So go out and win for you and win for your family. And God bless and have a great week. Bye bye.